What is going on, guys? In this video I'm going to be showing you the 6 best farms for your Minecraft world. Starting up is of course the iron farm. The iron is an insane farm, and you'll almost always need iron. Whether you're early game, mid game, or end game, you'll always need a constant source of iron for whatever projects you're doing. This iron farm is quite small, but is very effective. And it's very cheap also, so you can make this very early in your Minecraft world. How it works? You have 3 villagers right here, and they all have beds and stuff. The zombie starts scaring them, and because they're scared, they want protection, they spawn an iron golem. However, you look around, and there are no blocks where the iron golem could possibly spawn, so he spawns up here, in a flow of water. And as the water moves him across, he falls into this other water stream, which of course brings him into this lava, where he inevitably dies, and his drops go into the hopper, where you can easily collect them. This farm is insanely efficient, and is great for a Minecraft world. Next up is of course a tree farm. Wood is an insanely valuable resource like iron, and you will always need it in your Minecraft world. This farm only produces oak, but it is completely automatic and completely AFK-able. You can just relax and watch all of your wood get collected for you. You'll need wood for a bunch of builds, but it can also be traded to Fletchers for emeralds. How it works? You start by going down here, and you find this lever. You flick it on, that will create a timer that powers this dispenser right here to dispense bone meal. Then you go to this other side, and then you flick this other lever, which activates the pistons every now and then to get rid of the grass, so that new things can spawn. Then, as you can see, after a certain amount of time, there will be an azalea tree that spawns right there, and once that happens, the dispenser will bone meal it, and it will grow into a tree. This will send a signal all the way over here, and then all the way up, to activate your TNT dupers. They will then blow up the azalea tree, and voila, and then you will get the wood that is then collected into the system. Next up, we have a villager breeder. Villagers are very important for your Minecraft world, as you can get insane loot from them, and farm worlds are insanely easy to get, so you can get a bunch of insane free loot. As you can see right there, the villagers just breeded and created a baby. The baby will then go there, and once he goes up, he will go into this collection system right there, where then you can press this button, and it'll send out a dispenser and pick up your villager. Then you'll have as many villagers as you want. How it works is you have a composter which creates a farmer villager, and then he starts collecting all of the crops around here. He then gives it to this other villager as they breed, as there are excess beds. But as soon as the baby villager falls down here because he wants to go to the beds, then they will think, my baby has disappeared, and they will think that there are 2 more beds ready for them, and they can then breed again. Next up is the crop farm. The crop farm can be replaced for any type of crop right here. I am currently using carrots, however, you can change it to potatoes, wheat, beetroots, anything you'd like, and you can even have 50-50, or have all 4 in one. How the farm works is by having a farmer villager collect a bunch of crops. Then he will then try to give the crops to the other villager, but will be unsuccessful, as the hopper minecart will pick it up. Since the other villager will still be hungry, he will give the other villager more crops, which will automatically be hooked up by the hopper minecart. The hopper minecart will then bring all of the items into this chest, where then you can collect your free crop. Next up is the mob farm. The mob farm produces zombies, skeletons, spiders, and creepers, and also occasionally witches. How it works is by having at the very top a redstone timer that goes around, and once it hits itself, it activates an observer down here, which activates a dispenser, which activates an observer, which activates the dispenser, and the cycle repeats. It keeps on going down, pushing out all the mobs, and as the mobs fall down here and into the soul sand, where they eventually die. This is insanely effective, and as you can see, produces a decent amount of loot. It's quite simple, although quite tedious to make. You AFK up there, and that increases the farm's loot drastically. And if you're afraid of phantoms, just create yourself a little roof, and you'll be totally safe from all sorts of danger. And finally, the sixth farm takes us to the end. This is, of course, the Enderman farm. This is an insane source of XP and can get you a bunch of ender pearls, a very useful item, both for just survival and for PvP situations alike. How it works is by having an endermite at the very top aggro a bunch of endermen that spawn on this very platform, and then they attack the endermen and think these blocks are full blocks, so they try to go on them, but then they fall down. And they survive on only half a heart, so you could either punch them to death, or if you have a sword, then you can use Sweeping Edge on the sword to kill them all insanely fast and get a bunch of XP, like so. The hoppers underneath these will pick up the ender pearls, and if you don't want the ender pearls, you could flick this on, and they all start getting dropped out of the dropper. And voila, that was all of my 6 farms. If you want to see more, you can click on the early game or end game. The end game has not yet been released, but it should be in just a bit. And thanks for watching.